Good evening, folks. This is Darth Ravage 07 coming to you today with another quick review. And from Hasbro Pulse, I got in the Lunar Cruiser Prime, and man, I'm over the moon and back with this thing. This thing has been awesome. But first, before we get into the review, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again, all those who have subscribed. Thank you. Let's get to 2K before TFCon Baltimore this November. Onward and upward, guys. And here is Lunar Cruiser Optimus Prime, or Lunar Cruiser Prime, as a synthetically Tucker Atomic product sold in Japan. Comes in a packing box, but inside of that box comes another box that has actual Lunar Cruiser Prime on that box. You got some Japanese there. You got Tucker Atomic, pretty box art. The side of the box, the back of the box, very masterpiece-esque. And robot mode, like I said, very masterpiece-esque. There's that side, and more of that, and sad. Baby Pac-Man crying. You can't eat that little dot. There you go, guys. Pause and scan here if looking for this in other markets. I hope this helps you find it. Let's get Lunar Cruiser Prime out of the box and see how cool he is. And here is Lunar Cruiser Prime on the turntable, looking so excellent, guys. I absolutely love this crossover. This is an actual joint venture with the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency with Toyota, and then they just happen to cross it with the other thing I'm passionate about is Transformers. So you got the whole space, real life thing coming up and coming on. And this right here, the spin around doesn't really do it much justice because we got to get in here and look at the details on this vehicle. This rover is awesome. Immediately in the front, you can see Toyota there on the front. I guess these are lights and not machine guns because it doesn't need to be a war machine. This is like a peace effort to colonize the moon and what have you, part of the Artemis program. And you got his little dish there on the top there. You got this white is definitely playing around with my autofocus a little bit, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit blurry or whatnot. You got these out of the world moon wheels for the rover, and then you got, I guess this is part of where they access stuff and put samples in from the outside to do their experiments. They can supposed to be able to live inside of this thing for 45 days across the lunar landscape, and it's a pressurized cabin, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be neat to see how all that goes. So for the sake of this, see this probably, with it being hooked up to the side of this, it's got to be something like a robot mechanical arm kind of thing. So if they don't get out, then they got something they can pick up and pull it back in or whatnot. Don't know if this is another bay door that can open. I imagine it'd be this side. It looks like a door that would be open, have a airlock or something or others there. Sleeping quarters be cramped as all things in space is, but this is actually based on the Earth vehicle, the Toyota Land Cruiser. This is the Toyota Lunar Cruiser. Very, very awesome vehicle. And into the Transformer side of things, you can see the bits on the bottom and what have you. Every one of these wheels roll like awesome. It comes in that nice masterpiece box packaging. You got a winch on the front and just exudes technology, awesomeness, and all the good stuff there. So if I get it back out here, it does a little bit better. And this has been out with me today as I can't put it down, and it's like the sun has already done its number on that paint job with the tinted windows, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen to the front there, but the door things on the sides, they definitely have got something going on there. You got a Japan flag there, it's nice, and what have you. Like I said, joint venture space Artemis program, colonizing the moon, and then this is their exploration vehicle. So Toyota is getting their skin in the game there. I'm kind of surprised that our buddy at Tesla Motors has not already got something else going on there, since he's owner of SpaceX and all that other good stuff too. But joint venture, I don't see any Tesla anything on it. It's just Toyota right now at this point. Very, very awesome Moonbase 2 vehicle. All right, so that's the nerdiness of that all together there. Let's get into the actual other perks that this thing has got. You do got this thing can be removed up here on the top. It can be posed any way that you want to get it posed to have it come up or whatnot. You can take it off altogether. It doesn't have anywhere to store really, but there's that there on the top, And the other thing it does got back here in the back, you can lift up on the bumper here and untab it from this spot. You do get storage space for the panels. Right back here, you just lift up on it, lift it out, and you can see his robot arms high. You can color this back down, it'll snap back into place. This thing is so clean, guys. I absolutely love it. This thing will unfurl. And you got tab here, and it's a male-female kind of thing going on there. And you can stick it on the side. And you got energon collecting into the energon tube here as a play feature. Like I said, I'm not sure if this is just a robot arm or what have you, but this is part of contention that I had trouble with when I transformed it. Other than that, this thing was butter smooth on the transformation, and the robot mode is even smoother. All that said right there, you got these little rubbery things here. Some people don't care for it. I understand it. I'm good with it. And the fact that you can interchange this stuff right here and have it where this thing collects solar energy that right here, that's really cool too. All great and all the same. I love this thing to no end. I love that you can also just stow it away back in the back end there, and it's out of sight, out of mind, and you got your dish for communications. With that said, it's parts formery on that part, and you can take those off, and now we're ready to get this guy into his robot mode, because these got to come off anyway. Let's get him into that slick looking robot mode in 3, 2, 1, and here is Lunar Cruiser Prime in his robot mode, looking spectacular in my opinion. I like that side profile, I like how every bit of the kibble cleans up, and this thing is kibble-licious, but it hinders the articulation absolutely zero, as you will see in just a moment. The back side, this stuff fills in. I love that the tires go into the hollow spots, the legs fills it in. Got that transformation bits there. It kind of goes in the back. These right here on these connection points right here, if you slide it in from the side, they stay on better. I had so much trouble with that, and after watching MGo's review, I tried sliding it in. I got them to actually stay in a fix. We'll go through that with the articulation. I kept knocking it loose whenever I first got it because I just tried to click it in. But if you slide it in, it stays in there pretty good, guys. The kibble is so good in this. And you can get a more traditional smokestack Optimus Prime look by simply removing that bit there. And you can do some other fun things with the shield there. It says for it to go on this shoulder here, but I like it over here on this one, since we've got this blaster cannon looking arm thing here. And if this doesn't suit your fancy, guys, you can give him a good gun like the Studio Series 38 Bumblebee Prime gun, and it works excellently well right here. This has got me gushing again. It's so good. And this is kind of more of the darker red than the vibrant red, just like one of the other Earthrise Primes I got. It was like, I think, the Netflix version. So this works for me, this color works for me, and I love that you got the Toyota JAXA bits there in their, you know, moon base color there. Just looking awesome, guys. And I like the solar panel folds up on the back. You can use it like a shield. The options and the play value is so there with this guy. This thing is spectacular. Love this guy so much. Let's get that dish and that solar flare and the gun out of his hands. Let's go through that awesome articulation, guys. As I was saying, articulation wise, we can start at the bottom, work our way to the top, guys, because it is really, really good. You got a really deep rocker there. You've got an articulation spur. You can have it straight back. You can have it angled like this, like I like to do it, or you can even have it come back around and do like that. To each his own, however you want to rock that rocker ankle tilt stuff going on there. Like I was saying about these knees, like it has that little extending thing there going on. You can get 90 degrees there, or you can actually click this thing right here and pop it loose, and you can get more than 90. You can go on back around. It might pop the panel loose there, but you can get that much right there along the sides of that. This thing is so cool, guys. Yeah, it popped it loose. So simply you take this little tab and you go back into this hole right here, and then it like locks back up together, and you click that knee back together, and then you got a single, well, you got that single bend at the knee there, and it stays all good, and it it hides that gap space really good too. That could have been overlooked, and they didn't overlook it. I love that about this. We can go ahead and get him up into a T pose right here, because he'll do the full T, the full Monty. Well, if I can just get it back around here, so we can get the full Van Damage here. He has no trouble busting the full Jean-Claude Van Damage in there, and looks so painful. You can kick back only just about that far back because the way that hip joint does. But this is the way the hips need to be. You don't need to go kicking your own ass with that thing. You can go all the way forward like this. You can get a super high kick with this prime. And even the more beautiful thing is you got that waist articulation that's unhindered. That is so cool, guys. And even cooler than that, dude, did the transformation joint and stuff and things, you can get a tilt. And you can look down. This thing is so awesome. I love this. This should be the articulation going forward with primes and other bots to begin with. It needs these kind of joints, guys. This is not 1984, it's just 2024. All right, so I got Ryder barking in the background. You have to forgive 5-dog thing. I apologize, guys. Hang on 1 second. Ryder's just probably barking at some bug or butterfly, and he likes to pick on those all the time because he's got a little Nicky complex going on. That full T there, you got all the way around unhindered. Even this thing is being rubbery, you can get it all the way around there. You can go out the side. It's got an upper bicep, this kind of elbow bend, some gappage there. So DNA designs, I want to fill in the gaps. I don't want no gaps, period, in any of these. That said, it's still really, really good. You got the wrist articulation all the way around there, and the other coup de grace is that finger articulation. I'd love to have each finger individually articulated, but then there's parts counts and all the winding and stuff, and the license went good to use here with this figure. So far so good. And you do get a little bit of an upper thing that you can get to him looking the way down. You can get him even on the adverse looking way up, squirrel kind of thing going on there, and all the way around at the head. It is on a ball, so you can kind of get those primely head poses there. You can do whatever you want to do, however you see fit to do it, kind of thing going on. And that backpack just absolutely tabs in. It's not going anywhere. It's sturdy. It's just there, man. And the paint details on this thing is so good. And man, I was not expecting to like this thing as much as I do, guys. This thing is awesome. And you can also do Megatron Blaster, bam, right in your face. Energon Blaster Cannon, whatever you want to call it. However you see fit, like I said, guys. There ain't a whole lot else to this guy other than it exudes awesome. This thing is just really, really good. There's the base thing again. And there, see, there's what I was talking about with these things. You can angle them back just to angle, and you can get those standing poses, and he doesn't usually tip over with those things out like that right there. Or you can go all the way back. To each his own, however you want to do it. This is one awesome Optimus Prime. Let's get this guy into some final thoughts and some poses. Some final thoughts on this Lunar Cruiser Prime, guys. This is the best Transformers crossover to date, in my honest and personal opinion. This thing, it exudes awesome. It can bust the poses. It's kibblelicious. It's everything you like about a G1 Transformer with a more advanced vehicle. And this is even harkening back to the Alternators line that took real-world vehicles, or out-of-this-world vehicles in this case, and gives them the real world vehicle with all of today's articulation, bells and whistles. And while it might be a little bit pricey, guys, I say this is absolutely worth it. I wish this was the staple hold on articulation moving forward with all future releases. No more shortcuts with budget or whining them, you know, this or that, and we can't do this paint apps. When you put it all together, guys, you get a total package, and this crossover is the definitive example moving forward for crossover Transform figures. I want to see G.I. Joe's done with this love and care. I want to see like a Starscream Sky Striker, or, you know, a Wild Weasel kind of thing with the oh my gosh, I just lost the you know, oh my gosh, I just lost that thing. I'm going to put it back in the comments there, but I want to see Cobra Rattlers. That's what it was. I want to see Rattlers done with a crossover motif, and it be our favorite characters. It could be any of the. It could be Thundercracker even. Like, anyway, you get my point. The Night Raven, that stuff should have these aesthetics, this articulation, this kibblelicious G1ish goodness. Man, this thing is tasty. I absolutely love this thing to the moon and back. No pun intended. And this is an Optimus I probably will set next to Omega Supreme in the collection downstairs, because I just feel he belongs there. He can have a hitch to the moon with Omega Supreme, and then he's there doing his own thing, taking care of the humans, whoever's there. Boom, there it is. That's about going to do it for Lunar Cruiser Prime. The JAXA Toyota joint Vischer crossover with Transformers absolutely rocks, in my opinion, guys. I can't highly amend this thing. You shouldn't even be watching this video about like 5 minutes into this. You should be already buying this guy. He's that good. Thanks again for watching my channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thumbs up this video if you like it. I really do love this Prime. I dare say he's like one of the better retail Primes that you can get, guys. Don't hesitate, pull the trigger, grab this guy, and see for yourself the magic that has been worked here. This is how it needs to go forward, Hasbro, especially with crossovers, especially if there's a G.I. Joe Transformer crossover. This is a definitive good start here. Thanks again for tuning in and listening to me gush about this guy. Go buy your own, play with it, and see what I'm talking about, guys. It's worth the purchase. Oh, those those hips are the most beautiful hips I've ever seen on a Transformer. This should be the way it goes moving forward, guys. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have an excellent day till all are one.